Tough questions for Aurora leaders from Aurora residents. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Marshall Zellinger. A town hall this afternoon with the Aurora mayor and police chief included discussion of schools, development, and the ongoing false assertions the city has been taken over by a Venezuelan gang. Former President Trump has repeated that claim at campaign rallies. Kevin Vaughn from 9 News Investigates joins us from the newsroom. Kevin, how long did it take for Trump's rhetoric to come up at this town hall?
Marshall, this gathering began with the superintendent of Aurora Public Schools talking about things in the district. Next up was the city's police chief, and he went there even without being asked.
The video is ingrained in the public consciousness. Armed young men in an Aurora apartment house. Former President Donald Trump has latched onto the video, repeatedly asserting that a Venezuela gang called Tren de Aragua, or TDA, controls the city. At a town hall Saturday, Aurora's new police chief, Todd Chamberlain, pushed back.
This city is not overrun by TDA. This city is not controlled by TDA. I'm going to stand up in front of you right now and say that is an incredibly false narrative.
Trump has repeated that narrative on the campaign trail, like during his October 11th visit to a resort hotel on the edge of Aurora.
I will rescue Aurora and every town that has been invaded and conquered.
Chamberlain met with Trump that day. This day, he did not mention the former president's name, even as he challenged his claims.
It is a narrative that is not validated or backed up by any statistics, any data, any information.
Aurora Mayor Mike Kaufman, a Republican who skipped Trump's visit, also failed to mention the former president's name, even as the discussion returned multiple times to the gang and crime.
I'm concerned that if we allow this narrative to stand without challenging it, there indeed would be economic consequences.
Consequences that Kaufman hopes to have thwarted by speaking out.
My hope is that we intervened early enough in this to where it doesn't have lasting economic consequences.
Kaufman acknowledged he's ready for the election and maybe some of the rhetoric to be behind his community.
I'm looking forward to having it over with, and yes, I think the conversation will change.
We did not have a chance to ask the police chief if he pushed back on Trump's narrative when he met with him earlier this month. By the time we had a chance to talk with the mayor after the town hall, the chief had already left. Live in the newsroom, Kevin Vaughn, 9 News.
Kevin, it'll be good to know if the police chief did take the opportunity during a photo shoot with the former president, say, hey, these are a false narrative that you keep saying at campaign rallies. We know it's interesting across the country. How interested were the people who showed up to this town hall?
Several people were very interested. One man brought a printout of 3.5 years of police calls to one of the apartment complexes where there have been problems. A couple of other people, however, sort of scoffed at the idea that the president visited Aurora when he visited actually the Gaylord, which is a lot closer to Denver International Airport than the neighborhoods in question here.
And we could question if DIA is really Denver or not, just like is the Gaylord really Aurora. Thank you, Kevin. We're in store for a record warm weekend, but fall lovers rejoice because the third false fall of autumn is on the way. Let's bring in 9 News Weather Impact Team meteorologist Corey Reppenhagen now. That graphic behind you, Sunday heat in October, I think it peaks at what, like 60?
Yeah, it does, and I'm sick of using this graphic, quite honestly. Marshall, I just realized we missed a good opportunity tonight working together. 2 cold air lovers. We should have cranked up the AC until it hits 59 degrees in here.
I like
missed that opportunity. But tomorrow, we'll probably be using the air conditioning in our vehicles for sure. 83 is the record high temperature. We're forecasting 79, so obviously we're going to be very close to record-breaking territory. Mostly sunny conditions, light winds tomorrow. That sun comes up at about 7:23. Here's the forecast high temperatures for the rest of the Front Range, Northeast Plains, foothills, mountains, all looking very warm for tomorrow, well above normal. So in your weather impact headlines, that's one of the things we're tracking is that record heat over Sunday and Monday. That will come with elevated wildfire danger because of the fire weather, dry air, dead grass, and gusty winds combining for those conditions on Sunday and Monday. And then we're looking for a potential weather impact day coming up on Wednesday with a rain-snow mix here in Denver, some big mountain snow, and potentially a big temperature swing. I'll have more on that stuff coming up in the forecast.
Thank you, Corey. We're continuing to follow a crash that happened just east of Thornton City Hall, which has killed 4 people. This is at Thornton Parkway and Washington Street. It's just off I-25 and Thornton Parkway. You take that exit and you go east and you end up right here. Police say one of the cars caught fire, leading to the 4 deaths. The driver of another car was taken to the hospital with serious injuries. Right now, police have not said how this crash happened. An extended closure of I-25 through Colorado Springs is over after about nearly 7 hours. One person was killed from this crash between a large truck and a car on southbound I-25 near the World Arena. This crash was just after 10 a.m. and the highway reopened about 4:30. One other person was taken to the hospital. Another road issue, Adams County deputies have arrested 2 men suspected in a morning road rage shooting on I-25 near Highway 36. The sheriff's office said 1 man was injured in the shooting, but they will survive. Deputies do not believe the 2 men arrested knew each other. A man who admitted to vandalizing a Martin Luther King Jr. memorial in Denver has been sentenced. Robert Duran is one of 2 men suspected of damaging the memorial in City Park in February. It was just restored this week by the artist who helped create it. According to court documents, Duran pleaded guilty and was given a 2-year deferred sentence, meaning he could face jail time if he fails to meet certain requirements. The judge also ordered him to pay nearly $70,000 in restitution. Another person accused of damaging the memorial faces theft and criminal mischief charges still. She was severely injured on her job enforcing the law, then spent the rest of her life changing laws. Dale Kosy was laid to rest today. 40 years ago, she was a Denver police officer when a crash on the side of the road confined her to a wheelchair. 9 News has followed her story since that day. Our Evan Krugel shows us the lasting legacy she created for disability rights.
Dale Kosy was helping a stranded motorist in 1983 when she was hit from behind by a car on I-70. The crash left her without the use of her left leg, leading her to become a champion for disability rights, not just here in Denver, but across the nation. Parking in one of these spots requires proof of a disability, a nationwide policy that's all thanks to a Denver woman named Dale Kosy.
It was amazing how much she touched people.
Nana Will was Gail's best friend, but didn't meet her until after Kosy made the news while on patrol in 1983.
Dale Kosy had stopped to help a motorist in the airport tunnels. When she went to the back of her patrol car, she was hit from behind and thrown into the trunk.
Kosy lost her left leg and the use of most of her body below the neck, but she gained the ability to create major change.
Excuse me. Were you aware that you were parking in handicap parking?
Kosy went on to create a national model requiring placards for people to park in accessible parking spaces.
The people using the placards can be questioned as to, what their identification is, and to check and see if the placards are issued to that person. Vip up. Give. Thank you. Good girl.
Kosy also helped change state law to allow service dogs, like her dog Vip, into all buildings.
She was almost a teacher at heart. She looked at life as teachable moments and looked at educating people. That was a big thing for her.
Her best friend says she did it all with a smile and fierce attitude. She was well known for ramming her chair into doors that were not properly equipped with accessible entrances.
And so there was no way for her to get in, and she would literally ram her chair until somebody heard her, and they'd come open up. And she'd go, "Thanks for answering the door." Yeah, she was a hoot to be around. She really was. And I'll miss her dearly.
Dale Kosy passed away last month at the age of 67. And today was remembered at a Denver church, a tireless advocate and community servant whose impact will remain ever present in this community.
The world was a better place with her in it. And she made it a better place.
In Denver, Evan Krugel, 9 News.
The CDC now says at least 75 people got sick after eating McDonald's Quarter Pounders tainted with E. coli. Colorado has 26 of the cases and one death in Mesa County on the western slope. 12 other states have people who are sick with E. coli from Quarter Pounders. McDonald's says Taylor Farms is the source of potentially tainted onions on the burgers. The company is based in California but has a warehouse in Colorado Springs. Today, McDonald's announced it will indefinitely stop sourcing onions from the facility at the center of the E. coli investigation. A man in Greeley became the first to file a lawsuit against McDonald's earlier this week.
We're still going to see illnesses showing up that haven't fully gone through the testing process. So I expect this outbreak to at least double.
While the investigation continues, McDonald's has stopped serving quarter pounders in the impacted states. Taco Bell, KFC, and Pizza Hut, all owned by the same group, have also stopped serving onions. There are power suppliers in Colorado not named Xcel. TriState is one of them, which just received a couple $2 billion in federal money through the U.S. Department of Agriculture's Empowering Rural America program. TriState plans to use the money to help retire its previous coal-powered energy source and replace it with a renewable option. The goal is to lower rates for co-op members by 10% in 10 years.
When rural America thrives, when we empower rural America with what it needs to be successful, all of America thrives.
Several other utilities in Colorado are up for future federal dollars. They include United Power, Core Electric, and the Yampa Valley Electric Association.